Hello everybody. In this video I'm going to work on an alternate notation that's often used with sequences. In fact, it's more frequently used. The text that we use here in Craven County is the MVP program, and they do this f of n notation we've been using. So I'm going to show you an alternate notation that is used a little more often, I think. I see it in other books mostly, and a lot of problem sets I find online have this notation. So I want to show it to you. Okay, so we get down to the nitty gritty here. Let's just make sure we understand our current notation is using the function notation. And remember, f of 1, and then we're talking arithmetic here. F of 1 is your first term. This is your common difference, and so on and so forth. And over here, geometric, same thing. F of 1 is your first term, and your common ratios are. All right, new notation. They don't use f of n anymore. They use a with subscripts. Subscripts. This is not an exponent. That's not a to the 1 power or anything like that. It's a is pronounced a sub 1. This is a sub n. Okay? And basically, this keeps track of the term you're talking about. And they use a instead of f. So a sub n is the same thing as f of n. If somebody said a sub 3, they're talking about the third term. A sub n means the nth term. Notice your d is the same, your n's the same. The only difference is they're using the lowercase letter a with subscripts. Remember, exponents are superscripts, so don't get those confused. When somebody says a to the 1 power, that is not what it means. And that makes you sound like you don't know what you're talking about, okay? And I put the recursive forms here too. I didn't put the others to contrast it with. I guess I could have done that. But this also says to get to the next term, take the previous term, add d. This says to get to the next term, take the previous term, multiply by r, the common ratio. All right, I made a little table here that kind of explains this, and I'm going to do a problem with you in just a second, and I'll talk my way through it here. This is a sequence. These are the terms, 8, 11, 14, 17. Formally, the first term was f of 1, second f of 2, f of 3, f of 4, and so on, and I showed how n works down here. Now, the new notation, that would become a sub 1, a sub 2, a sub 3, a sub 4, and so on. Now, I'm not saying we're always going to use the new notation, or we're always going to use the older one. Well, the problem will be is you'll be doing a test or an exam, you're in a problem set somewhere, or a different class, different course, and you need to be aware of both notations, honestly, to be good at doing this. And I'm throwing this in here just as just because I wanted you to see the whole picture. So I'm going to take a look at this sequence, 8, 11, 14, 17. And we'll just compare and contrast it with the old notation. So if we're going to write a formula for the nth term, 8, 11, 14, 17, right? First, we got to determine what type it is. 11 minus 8 is 3, 3, 3. This is arithmetic. So we calculate that. Even with the new notation, nothing's changed. All right, normally I would have written f of n equals. Now I'm going to write a sub n equals, right? F of 1 is 8 plus d times n minus 1. Guess what? The same thing, because that's a sub 1 plus 3 times n minus 1. That's simple. Okay? So the only difference is they're using a with subscripts instead of f. All right, now let me just make sure I make this very crystal clear. I'm going to make another sequence up real quick. Maybe we have, I don't know, 7, let's say 12, and then 17. This would be a sub 1, a sub 2, a sub 3, and so on, okay? And that's what this notation is like. It's just a way of keeping track of the terms. And they use subscripts to refer, oops, didn't mean to do that. This is your n equals 1, 2, 3, and so on. And since it doesn't make any difference, the notation D is the same. This will be arithmetic, D is 5, and so on. Okay? I hope this is helpful. If you get really confused with this, let me know. In that SchoolNet assignment, they are using this notation, so make sure you take a look at, understand this video. You can refer back to it while you watch it. Anyway, I hope this is helpful, and thanks for watching.